I decided to do open adoption back in 91. And I don't know the history. You might be able to explain that in a minute.
It's
How
like a
long
little
open
progressive then.
it
Like
probably
the
was
start of,
of open.
development.
Okay. I figured that maybe that would be the case. So for me, I because I was not really in my heart, it wasn't my first choice to have to do that. I would have rather have kept her. If the finances were there and the support was there, I probably would have tried to have raised her. But it just if I could have, I would have. But as a second option, meeting the birth parents was extremely important to me. It was the only way that I'd feel comfortable with the process. They were they're from Cleveland Heights, so not far from where you and I grew up. They were in their late 30s. Carol's was 37 years old, so I knew they were stable and financially, of course, ready, and had suffered a major loss of their own, maybe 6 months prior to them going. Maybe it was a year prior, I don't know, but she lost their baby at birth. He had severe disabilities and did not survive, maybe lived a day, if that. So that also tugged at my heartstrings, like knowing that I would be giving them a gift of someone that they've recently lost. So that also sort of helped me to make that decision pretty easy. Meeting them, I had a good vibe about both of them. Very kind people, open, and I could be open and honest with them about things. I like them, and I think first impressions mean everything. So it was pretty easy for me to make the decision.
Did you see a lot of parent profiles?
No, they were the first. No, it didn't work that way, really. I really liked the attorney that I was dealing with, or agent, whatever you want to say. She was personal friends of theirs, so I think that's sort of like how she said, hey, this might be a family that, she gave me the backstory, and she was friends with them, and I had a good trust with her, or a good rapport. So it kind of like went that route where she had, was a family friend of them. She was an adoption attorney, and so kind of like it didn't work that way where I saw a bunch of people. No, or profiles. I did not.
Hey guys, my name is Melissa and I am a birth mother. Today I'm going to be giving you a quick insight into my story and explaining how I ended up choosing my daughter's adoptive parents. Long story short, I found out I was pregnant during my junior year of college and knew that I was not ready to be a parent. So I started working with a local agency to find a couple to raise my child. That was probably around the 4 to 6 month mark. The adoption agency had me come in and they provided me a bunch of adoptive couple or prospective parents profiles, which are basically Shutterfly books or homemade scrapbooks with pretty generic pictures of them and their life, explaining what kind of town they live in, how close they are to schools, all that sort of stuff. It's hard because you are literally judging a book by its cover. You're looking at these people's pictures and deciding whether or not they would be a good parent for your unborn child. It was really tough, but what I ended up doing to make the decision a little easier was basically telling myself, okay, Melissa, you know that you want this baby to have a life that you would want her to have and similar to what you grew up with. So that's what I kind of started looking for. I found Travis and Heidi. It looked like they lived in a small Iowa town like myself. Had a nice house in a little community, had a dog. They didn't have any other children, but there was a playground in their neighborhood, and they lived near a school, and they just looked very good-natured people. In the end, I chose them after interviewing a few other couples too, and it's been definitely worth it. Having those similarities with them and having them be from a small town like myself and everything has really given us those commonalities to talk about things. We ended up finding out we know some of the same people. It's been definitely worth it. So if you ever find yourself in a situation like that, or you're looking to give someone else help, tell them to just think about what they want their child to have in the end and what they wish they could give them if possible. My particular situation, if you want to learn more about it, go to YouTube and search Behind the Bump. It should be the first result. That will give you a little more backstory about me. But yeah, long story short, it's a tough situation, but look deep into your heart and you will find it.